Coming up on today's show, could Jamal Adams make a return to the Seattle Seahawks? John Schneider commented on the possibility. We'll show you what he had to say and share our thoughts as well, coming up in just a matter of moments. We also have another top 30 visit for the Seahawks. We will let you get to know Malachi Corley out of Western Kentucky, tell you everything you need to know about the wide receiver prospect in just a matter of moments here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. I am merely Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us on the show. This is March. My bracket still intact for now, but I've been told if you don't like today's video, your bracket is guaranteed to get busted and you will have no chance to win your bracket challenge. So, don't jinx it. Just trust me on this one, folks. Don't take your chances. Like today's video. Do your part to win your bracket challenge. Good luck to the Zags and the Cougs here in March Madness, and we'll get started with today's show. Could Jamal Adams be making a return to the Seattle Seahawks in 2024? He was released a few weeks ago, and the Seahawks have already replaced him with a number of options within the last week or so within free agency. But what potential role could there be? Could he play linebacker for the Seahawks as far as that goes? John Schneider said he's keeping tabs on Jamal Adams as well as Quandre Diggs and seeing what's going on with both of them as they await to find their next homes. At the time of this recording, neither one of them have signed with a new destination just yet. And so then that brings up the question, can Adams play linebacker for Seattle? It was something that was talked about a lot when Jamal Adams was with the Seahawks, if he could make that transition with what Seattle had invested in players like Julian Love and others. Would it make sense for him to move positions there, especially with his ability to get after the quarterback and his weakness in coverage? John Schneider did an interview with Seattle Sports Radio this week and talked about the situation. And when asked if he could play a linebacker for Seattle, he said, yeah, I mean, when we acquired him, that's what we were thinking. He was a weak side linebacker. At a certain point, you have to take emotion out of it and just focus on what's best for the organization and figure out where your stopping point is. Personally, I hate this idea for a multitude of reasons why I do not like the idea of bringing Jamal Adams back. And I think it's worth noting, too, besides just the on-the-field stuff, and we'll show you some numbers and all that here in just a second, Jamal Adams, I have concerns off the field. When I see him attacking a reporter's wife, calling her ugly on X, that's not a great look. When we hear rumblings about him quitting on his team and not being in the stadium to support his teammates on Monday Night Football, I have concerns. These are issues that are bigger than just the liability that he is on the football field as is. Jamal Adams, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. We've seen him play at a high level before. Don't get me wrong. But the reason why the Seahawks released him wasn't just about saving $16.5 million. They could have potentially restructured if they really wanted to keep Jamal Adams around. But it's twofold. The Seahawks did not see Jamal Adams as any benefit when it came to the on-field product last year, right? I mean, he was barely available as is, for one thing. And when he was out there, he was doing nothing and was holding this team back, especially with what he did in coverage. And that's the other thing that I point to. In this new era of Seahawks football under Mike Macdonald, of the players that we've seen Mike Macdonald and John Schneider acquire, specifically at the linebacker position, what do they have in common? They're all very good in coverage. They are very good coverage linebackers, something that you couldn't really say about Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks either. With that in mind, Jamal Adams does not fit that mold at all of what Seattle is looking for coverage linebackers. So for me, it just doesn't make sense as far as that goes. Let's ask you guys, should the Seahawks sign Jamal Adams? S for sign, P for pass. You can tell I'm adamantly opposed to this idea, but want to hear from you guys first. Way in the comment section on our pinned comment today. Let us know what you think. The grades from Jamal Adams kind of tell this whole story of what we're reflecting here. Overall grade, not great. Run defense grade, not great. Pass rush grade. Nobody's arguing that Jamal Adams can get after the quarterback. But if I wanted one-trick ponies, that's what I got Darrell Taylor for, right? I don't need another Darrell Taylor here for the problems that he's going to cause in coverage. You look at this linebacker room right now. Terrell Dodson, very good when it comes to coverage. One of the best coverage linebackers in the entire NFL. Jerome Baker was ranked as one of the best coverage linebackers in the NFL. And then I got Boye Mafe, who's a all-around good linebacker that is really good to get after the quarterback. We know that when he had 7 straight games with the sack last year. But what does he also do? He's very well in coverage. And then Uchenna Nwosu coming back from injury. We'll see what he looks like. This isn't going to fly. You have to cover well if you're going to be a linebacker on this defense, and Jamal Adams doesn't do that. So I have concerns off the field, but as far as the player he is, it's a hell no for me when it comes to leaving that door open for Jamal Adams to return. Got a great deal we're offering Seahawks fans. Hats are on sale now, and I got 2 incentives, besides just how good these hats look, okay, from the flat bill to the ball cap, the baseball cap style to the throwback. Not just the fact that they look good, but let me incentivize you a little further. Hear me out on this, folks. I am willing and able to give you up to 50% off on some of these hats. And free shipping as well, because I'm just that type of guy. So take advantage of this for a limited time only at chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Up to 50% off, free shipping as well. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. Get yours today. Look, we got some great holidays coming up soon. Mother's Day, Father's Day. Might as well get ahead on it right now. Go see for yourself. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. The NFL Draft is coming up in just about a month from now, and we're starting to get the reports of some top 30 visits rolling in. And the most recent one is Western Kentucky wide receiver Malachi Corley is set to visit Seattle. Josh Edwards of CBS Sports tweeting out the information saying Western Kentucky wide receiver Malachi Corley has 30 visits set up with the Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Cowboys, Panthers, Buccaneers, Seahawks, and 49ers, according to a source. Those 8 visits will take place over the span of 17 days in April. Busy month for college football's yards after catch king. So Corley going to be stacking up the airline miles over the next few weeks. Now, you're telling me that the nation's leader in yak could be coming to Seattle alongside DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Jake Bobo. Granted, wide receiver is not the biggest priority for the Seahawks here, but you have my full attention. We'll show you some numbers, scouting report, all the goods for you here in just a bit. But let's ask you, should the Seahawks draft Malachi Corley? Why for yes, in for no? And if you're saying no right now, maybe you'll change your mind when we go over the scouting report here in just a second. Go ahead and give me your answer now, and then if you change your mind later, that's fine too. Let us know. We are covering your Seattle Seahawks each and every day here on Seahawks Today. I know the weekend is about to get here and everything, but don't worry. If they make another move, I will hit the team up and we'll combine all our resources and we'll bring you a video as fast as we can here on the channel this weekend. I am off to the great city of Austin, Texas tomorrow, but you better believe, even on my vacation, I will still bring you Seahawks coverage if we need to. You ain't alive, you ain't subscribed. The latest happenings in your favorite team, it's covered right here each and every day on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. More on Malachi Corley. Played for Western Kentucky from 2020 to 2023. Was a 2-time first-team All-Conference USA selection and played in the Reese's Senior Bowl there in Alabama just a few weeks ago, and he was named the top wide receiver on the national team squad. So a very good week for him down there in Alabama with what he was able to put together. Statistically, this is what we're talking about as far as what he brings to the table. 79 catches, 984 yards, 11 touchdowns this year. Back-to-back seasons with 11 touchdowns as he had nearly 1,300 yards. 2 more games played, too, in 2020 compared to 2023 as far as that goes. The scouting report on him He is thick. Not quite T-H-I-C-C thick, but T-H-I-C-K thick. Running back-like frame, 5'11", 210. Great strength and balance. Very good hands. Snags throws outside his frame. So that tells me a very important detail. He catches with his hands, not his body. Limited route tree, though. So that will be something that needs to be looked at, something to work on. But then you ask, okay, if I'm going to go ahead and draft a receiver when I'm the Seattle Seahawks, and it's not my top need, then what type of impact could he have? Well, I'll tell you this right now. The Bengals are expected to take a step back in the receiving core, right? T. Higgins wants out. Tyler Boyd's not expected to be back. And they were viewed by most as the best receiving room in football. Well, let's say I add Corley to what's already there with DK, Tyler, and JSN. Without question, the Seahawks would have the best receiving core in the National Football League with adding this type of player to your arsenal. That would be the difference, folks. And I would be very intrigued if the Seahawks were to go that route. Speaking of the wide receiver room, what's kind of your confidence level right now? I like this group, but adding a guy like Corley is certainly intriguing. Could you imagine Geno, what he could do with these guys? What's your confidence level? I'm pretty high. I'll go about 7 or 8. What about you? Tell me your confidence level right now. If you enjoyed today's show, if you need a little luck for your bracket, I'm here to help. Like today's video. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.